my dear friends. Welcome back to another delightful episode of my Cherished Memories. Today, we're taking a groovy trip back to the unforgettable year of 1966. With me is the wonderful Dr. Time, our go-to expert on all things nostalgic and cherished. How are you today, Dr. Time?
I'm feeling fantastic, Charlotte. 1966 was such an amazing year. So many memories to unravel. I'm thrilled to dive into it with you and our lovely audience.
Absolutely. Now, 1966 was a year of contrasts. We had a booming economy with unemployment below 4% and GDP growth at a robust 6.6%. Doesn't that sound wonderful?
Sure does, Charlotte. The economy was sizzling. Companies were bustling, investing like crazy, and folks were feeling pretty optimistic about the future. Do you remember when gasoline was just 0.32 a gallon? That's like finding a four-leaf clover these days.
Oh, yes. Imagine filling up your car for a few bucks and still having change for a movie ticket, which was just around 50 to 75 cents. Speaking of which, what was your favorite movie from 1966, Dr. Time?
I'd have to say, The Sound of Music was a real treat.
Sound of music.
It won big at the Oscars that year, sweeping 5 awards. And who can forget the debut of Star Trek? It took us to galaxies far, far away for the very first time.
Oh, and Star Trek was out of this world. Now let's talk about the music. The Beatles released Revolver, the Beach Boys gave us Pet Sounds, and Bob Dylan's Blonde on Blonde was just a masterpiece.
Absolutely. Those albums were iconic. The music really captured the spirit of the times. And let's not forget the Beatles' Yellow Submarine. What a fun, quirky tune. Do you have a favorite song from 1966, Charlotte?
Oh, I loved Good Vibrations by the Beach Boys. It always brings back such happy memories. Now, Dr. Time, let's chat about the fashion. Bell-bottom jeans, mini-skirts, and platform shoes were all the rage. Quite the statement pieces, weren't they?
Oh, absolutely. Bell-bottoms were so wide you could almost camp under them. And those mini skirts, so daring and fabulous. Do you remember how we all scrambled to get a pair of those chic go-go boots?
Oh, those boots were everything. Now let's switch gears a bit. 1966 wasn't all fun and games. The Vietnam War was in full swing, and it brought a lot of tension and sorrow. By the end of the year, there were 389,000 U.S. troops in Vietnam.
Yes, it was a challenging time. But it's also when Medicare was introduced, which was a big relief for many older Americans, ensuring they had access to health care.
Indeed a significant milestone. And how about the culinary delights? 1966 gave us buffalo wings and that unforgettable tunnel of fudge cake. Such treats.
Oh yes, I can almost taste those buffalo wings now. And don't forget the debut of Cool Whip and Doritos. What a time to be alive. Do you have a favorite food memory from 1966?
Absolutely, I can't forget the excitement over the first McDonald's frozen French fries. They were a game changer. And speaking of games, how about the debut of Twister? That was a real party favorite.
Oh, Twister was hilarious. Seeing everyone tangled up, trying not to fall over, such a laugh. And what about sports? The Boston Celtics, Baltimore Orioles, and Montreal Canadiens were all champs that year.
Oh, yes, and the historic AFL-NFL merger was signed, setting the stage for modern football as we know it. So many great memories.
Absolutely. 1966 was a year packed with moments that shaped our lives and culture. It's wonderful to reminisce about those times with you and our audience.
It truly is, Dr. Time. Thank you for joining us today. And to our dear friends watching, I hope you enjoyed this groovy stroll down memory lane. Do share your favorite memories from 1966 in the comments below. Until next time, keep those cherished memories alive.